and carrying tomorrow before today is through. You've been solving all the problems that haven't happened yet to you, and the weight of all that worrying has been slowing down the day that's already full of beauty. If you'd only look that way, put the future gently down now, let the present have its turn. There's enough right here to treasure, more than worry ever earned. Just live one day, that's all you have to do. Just live one day, this one right here with you. Wake up and say I'm grateful, close your eyes and say the same. Just live one day, and tomorrow does the same. The morning when it finds you brings its own sufficient light, and the evening when it holds you says you made it through alright. So stop the endless planning of a life that isn't here. Just live one day completely and watch the path grow clear. One day of full attention, one day of open eyes is worth a year of worrying about the eventual sunrise. Just live one day in gratitude and grace. Just live one day at your own beautiful pace. No need to solve what isn't broken, no need to fear what hasn't come. Just live one day, and let that be enough. Wake and say thank you, sleep and say the same. Every day between them is a gift without a name. Just live one day, that's the whole of it. Just live one day, every glorious bit, the sunrise and the small things and the people that you love. Just live one day, it's more than enough. The bottom taught me love. I grew up in the warmth of everything provided, never knew the cold of the world when it divided into those who had enough and those who had to beg. And I chose to go down deeper, and I chose the harder leg. Not because I had to, but because I wanted to know what it feels like in the darkness, what it feels like down below. The bottom taught me love in ways the top could never teach. The bottom taught me love when warmth was out of reach, when the cold was all around. hunger and the judgment, the invisible and small, the way a single kindness can feel like saving all. The world when you have nothing and a stranger holds the door. The bottom taught me love, and now I know what love is for. You cannot know the value of the warmth you've always had until you feel the cold completely, until you feel that bad. And then the love, when it arrives, is something altogether new. The bottom taught me love, and that love belongs to you. The bottom taught me love, I would not trade it now. The bottom taught me love, it taught me when and how to recognize the sacred in the ordinary day. The bottom taught me love, and love is here to stay. The ones who've been the lowest love the deepest and the most, and the gratitude they carry is the warmest kind of host. The bottom taught me love, thank you for the call. The bottom taught me love, worth more than any gold. Everything I am today was learned when I was low. The bottom taught me love, and that love will always grow. When the body finally stopped you, when the pain became the wall that you couldn't push beyond, couldn't climb and couldn't fall through any faster than you did. The room became your world, and in the smallness of that stillness, something wonderful unfurled. Not what you would have chosen, not the road you would have taken, but the stopping was the starting of the self that had been hidden. Empty made me clear when everything was stripped away. Empty made me clear, and clarity came to stay. The anger and the bitterness, the worry and the fear. Empty made me clear, and now the light is here. You poured out all the heavy, you released the grudge and grief, and every layer letting go brought a little more relief, until the one who remained there was the one who'd always been under everything that covered the most beautiful and clean. You didn't find it searching, you found it being still. The emptying is the finding, always was and always will. Empty made me clear, the body knew the and I am grateful still. What the doctors couldn't give you, what the searching couldn't find, was waiting in the emptiness of a quietly emptied mind. Empty made me clear. I am grateful for the pain. Empty made me clear. Like the earth after the rain, everything I am today was born inside the still. Empty made me clear and clear. I will You prayed your way through seasons that seemed impossible to bear. You asked the question, why me? And the silence filled the air. But somewhere past the asking, when the asking finally ceased, you found yourself in mourning, with a deep and quiet peace. That season you were cursing was the season you were made, and the prayer you prayed in anguish was the prayer that wouldn't fade. That season was the bridge between the you that was and the you that you are now, because it always does turn the worst thing to the best thing, turn the night into the dawn. That season was the bridge, and now you've crossed it, you move on. If the hardest years had missed you, if the struggle never came, the person standing here today would not be quite the same. In the depth or in the wisdom, or the capacity to give, that season was the bridge to the life you get to live. Every year of praying through it, every night of holding on, was building something sacred on the ground you're standing on. That season was the bridge between the lost and found. That season was the bridge between the sky and ground. Everything that tried to break you made the crossing firm and wide. That season was the bridge, and love was on the other side. Thank the years that brought you here. think the ones that hurt the most, they were never punishment. They were just the bridge you crossed. That season was the bridge, and now you're on the other side. That season was the bridge, and you crossed it with your pride intact and even stronger than the one who first began. That season was the bridge, and you are the one who ran. You prayed your way through seasons that seemed impossible to bear. You asked the question, why me? And the silence filled the air. But somewhere past the asking, when the asking finally ceased, you found yourself in mourning, with a deep and quiet peace. That season you were cursing was the season you were made, and the prayer you prayed in anguish was the prayer that wouldn't fade. That season was the bridge between the you that was and the you that you are now, because it always does. Turn the worst thing to the best thing, turn the night into the dawn. That season was the bridge, and now you've crossed it, you move on. If the hardest years had missed you, if the struggle never came, the person standing here today would not be quite the same. In the depth or in the wisdom or the capacity to give, that season was the bridge to the life you get to live. Every year of praying through it, every night of holding on, was building something sacred on the ground you're standing on. That season was the bridge between the lost and found. That season was the bridge between the sky and ground. Everything that tried to break you made the crossing firm and wide. That season was the bridge. You were always flying higher than the ones around you could, always ready for the next thing, always up and off you would go into the next adventure, go into the next unknown. And the ones who loved you worried you'd be always gone. But the wild and free and flying isn't wrong and isn't lost. It's the nature of a spirit that is worth the highest cost. The free soul settles down, not because the freedom's gone. The free soul settles down because the roots make flying strong. The branch needs the tree beneath it for the reaching to make sense. The free soul settles down, and the flying gets intense. The wildness that you carry is the gift that you were born with. The free and uncontainable, the dancing in the storm with everything that comes to greet you, everything you run to meet. The free soul settles down, and the landing is complete. Not a taming, not a losing of the beautiful wild thing, but a gathering and a grounding that gives the wings their wing. The free soul settles down into the life that's big enough. The free soul settles down when the landing spot is love. Not a prison, not a clipping of the wings you always had. The free soul settles down, and everything is glad. The most glorious of landings is the one made by the free, who chose to touch the ground, not because they had to be, but because the ground was worthy of the spirit coming in. The free soul settles down, and the real life can begin. The free soul settles down into grace and into peace. The free soul settles down, and the searching finds release in the warm and in the certain, in the love that holds it right. The free soul settles down and takes its final flight. Smile anyway. They watched you fall so many times, they almost stopped believing that you'd find a way to rise again, that you'd find a way of leaving the ground behind you once more, finding your feet once more. And every time you stood again, they loved you even more. despite the falling, but because of how you rise. The grace inside the getting up was the beauty and the prize. Smile anyway when the ground comes up to meet you. Smile anyway. Let the fallen not defeat you, because the one who falls and rises knows something those who haven't can't. Smile anyway. You've become the elegant. The ones who watched you struggle are the ones who shake their heads in the most admiring wonder at the path your spirit treads. And the you that stands here living through the everything you've done is the most extraordinary version of a life completely won. Not won by never falling, but by rising every time. And the smile that you carry is the most defiant sign that the fallen doesn't own you, that the ground is just a rest. Smile anyway. You have passed every test. Smile anyway. They are watching and amazed. Smile anyway. Through the fallen and the dazed, the champion is the one who gets up one more time. Smile anyway. The victory is sublime. Someone out there watching from the middle of their fall is looking at your rising as the most important call. To believe that they can do it, to believe they can get up. Smile anyway. Fill their empty cup. Smile anyway. You have earned the right. Smile anyway. Through the darkness and the light, every fall behind you, every rising up again. Smile anyway. You've become the one who wins. You don't know exactly what the next chapter holds. The curtain's still drawn closed, and the story still unfolds. In the dark behind the fabric, in the space beyond the known. But something warm is moving in the seeds that you have sown. The preparation that you've done through every single year was not for nothing. It was building toward what's drawing near. Warm work is coming. You can feel it in the air. Warm work is coming. Something tender, something rare. and it's coming to you soon. Start with what you're holding, start with what you know, and trust that it will lead you to the place you need to go. The small beginning always is the door to the great thing. Warm work is coming. Hear the welcome that it brings, not the cold and calculating, not the grinding for the score, but the warm and human offering of the heart that's found its door. Warm work is coming. All the preparations done, warm work is coming. Like the rising of the sun, after all the dark and learning, after all the pain and the cost, warm work is coming. And nothing will be lost. The curtain will rise gently when the timing is exactly right, and what's behind it will be more than anything you'd write. If you tried to plan it fully, if you tried to see it clear, warm work is coming, and it's almost here. Warm work is coming. Trust the road you're on. Warm work is coming. Before very long, everything you've lived and learned is exactly what it needs. Warm work is coming, and the harvest follows seed. You don't have to carry more than what today provides. You don't have to solve what tomorrow still decides. Just wake and say thank you for the breath that brought you here, and let the day unfold in the ordinary and the clear. The one who feeds the hungry at the table close at hand and holds the door for strangers is the one who understands that the holy and the sacred isn't somewhere far away. It's in the little kindness of the unremarkable day. Keep walking through the grateful. Keep your heart light and your step free. Keep walking through the grateful. It's the simplest way to be. No grand ambition needed, no heroic act required. Keep walking through the grateful, and watch the love be inspired. The eye that sees the beauty in the smallest of a thing, the hand that reaches outward for the joy that reaching brings, is living in the fullness that the complicated miss. Keep walking through the grateful, There is nothing more than this. Don't try to become something. Don't try to make yourself. Just live the ordinary with a grateful, wholesome self. And watch how something beautiful grows without the striving. Keep walking through the grateful and keep on arriving. Keep walking through the grateful every single day. Keep walking through the grateful. It's the only way to find that what you're looking for was always right at hand. Keep walking through the grateful. You're already in the promised land. Someone gave you something simple, and you said, "Thank you, friend." That moment was the holy. That's where the journey ends and begins again tomorrow in the same small grateful way. Keep walking through the grateful. You are doing it today. Keep walking through the grateful. It's enough and it's enough. Keep walking through the grateful, through the tender and the tough, every ordinary morning, every unremarkable night. Keep walking through the grateful, and you're walking in the light. Love is the rule. Nobody could have predicted the distance you would go. Nobody could have counted on the strength you came to show. In the years of falling forward, in the years of getting up, in the filling of the empty and the emptying of the cup. And the ones who watched in wonder couldn't find the proper word for the kind of courage standing that they'd never seen or heard. Love is the rule, and you have lived it through. Love is the rule in everything you do, from the bottom to the brightness, from the cold to the warm. Love is the rule. You were the eye inside the storm, not because you had the easy, not because you had the map, but because you kept on loving through the every setback, through the closed door and the hardship, through the year of being down. Love is the rule, and love is how you found your crown. The ones who know the deepest darkness carry the warmest light, and the love that lives inside you burns the clearest and the bright. Love is the rule. It always was the answer. Love is the rule. is everywhere. Love is the rule, and you have proved it true. Love is the rule, and love is you. From the very first beginning to the last and final day, love is the rule, and love will always stay. Nobody could have predicted the distance you would go. Nobody could have counted on the strength you came to show. In the years of falling forward, in the years of getting up, in the filling of the empty and the emptying of the cup, and the ones who watched in wonder couldn't find the proper word for the kind of courage standing that they'd never seen or heard. Love is the rule, and you have lived it through. Love is the rule, in everything you do, from the bottom to the brightness, from the cold to the warm. Love is the rule. You were the eye inside the storm, not because you had the easy, not because you had the map, but because you kept on loving through the every setback, through the closed door and the hardship, through the